Hey guys, my name is Alex Branson. Some of you might know my wife Krista, the assistant volleyball coach for the volleyball team. Just wanted to thank you for taking the time to uh, view this little quick PowerPoint and help me out with a project for my med school class. So if you haven't yet taken the pre-test, if you can stop the video and go ahead and take that first, and then I'll just run through these slides really fast and you can take the post-test after and you can have my gratitude forever for taking that. So let's get started. So the purpose of our project was to evaluate whether athletes had a good understanding of what their nutritional needs are, and then to educate slightly on just kind of what you should be looking for in the things that you eat, specifically as an athlete who undergoes a high level of training on a weekly basis. So we conducted a study in the spring of some LCU athletes and just found a few interesting things. The biggest of which is that 60% of athletes were unsure how many calories they should be eating on a daily basis. And we found that a lot thought that maybe 1,200 all the way up to 3,500 were the appropriate amount for them. So just really a wide range there. We also found that quite a few are eating fast food at least 3 times a week, and 92% of the LCU athletes at least ate fast food once a week. And so we really just want to talk about kind of what that means for what you're taking into your body and how that should be adjusted as an athlete. Here's a quick look at the difference between an average female in America versus a female athlete. So an average female only really needs about 2,000 calories per day, and you see that everywhere, that's like the recommended daily nutritional value. But I know for a fact that many of you spend 2 to 3 hours, 5 to 6 times a week working out, and so your needs vary drastically because of that. With that high level of workout, your needs are really more in the range of 25 to 30 calories per pound of body weight. So here, for example, if you weighed 120 pounds, you would need about 3,000 to 3,600 calories per day. And you can see that that goes up if you weigh more. And your protein levels are also different. So because of the high level of workout that you do, that 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight is what you're going to need. And so that takes a little bit of math to figure out, but it's definitely something that means that you need to be taking in a lot more protein than the average female. As far as fat goes, this is going to be the calories that really give you that long-term energy and allow you to complete more strenuous workouts. So we definitely want you taking in a considerable portion of your calories in fat. So we say about 20 to 35% of your calories should come from fat content in your food. And so another important thing to realize is that on average there are 9 calories in 1 gram of fat. So if you need to be eating 3,000 calories per day, about 600 to 1,000 of those need to be coming from fat, which works out to about 70 grams of fat per day. Here is a typical amount of calories burned in 30 minutes of doing some normal exercises, and why you can see that if you're playing volleyball at 285 calories for every 30 minutes, and you do that for multiple hours a day, you're going to need a lot more calories just to be able to even maintain your body composition so that we don't start breaking down good things like muscle. So some of these might be surprising, like if you run for 30 minutes, you only burn about 1 slice of pizza's worth of food, but you guys are exercising all the time, and that's why we need these higher calorie diets. However, we do want to stress the importance of getting high quality calories. So if we talk about eating out somewhere like Raising Cane's, the troubling things that we can see here are that, for example, the total fat content in this typical fast food meal is about 73 grams, which I already said is about your daily allotted amount of calories from fat that we want to get. And so by doing that, we get a lot of things into our body that aren't going to be as helpful in developing muscle and in sustaining those kinds of high energy workouts, and really just put our body through a lot. So we want to take our calories from high quality foods. And so here's an example of a more high quality nutritional value meal. This is just a standard piece of grilled chicken, but what we can see is that its calorie content is much lower, but we're going to get a much higher amount of protein for how many calories we're taking in. So again, just being really efficient with the things that we eat and giving ourselves the best chance to take those nutrients and turn them into things like muscle that we really want. And if we pair that chicken with something like baked sweet potato fries instead of your regular fried potato fries, we can really just get a more balanced meal. We're able to eat a whole lot more of good things, and we're getting more good things into our body instead of taking all of those, maybe those bad fats that aren't going to be as helpful for us. I know a lot of this probably seems very obvious, like obviously grilled chicken is better for you than fried chicken, and we've all heard that before, but what we really want to do is just give you the tools to be able to look at something like a nutritional facts label and see those numbers and kind of have a better understanding of what they mean and what kind of things we are looking for in the value of the foods that we eat. The last thing that I want to talk about is how much water we actually need to drink. And I think that we all know that water is a really good thing. The problem is that we often see in athletes is they can actually drink too much water. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't drink water. You should drink water all the time. But really, our bodies know exactly kind of how much water we need to be drinking. And so a really good rule of thumb is that as long as you're drinking water to the point where you're not thirsty, and your body will tell you if it needs more water by being thirsty. So definitely any time that you are thirsty, go for that bottle of water. But there's not a huge need to overhydrate before a game, and that can actually lower the amount of salt in your blood and really cause you to actually be more fatigable, more easily tired by drinking too much water. So we just want to keep an eye on that, especially with athletes who are trying to really hydrate for intense physical activity. The other way that you can really look at that is to keep an eye on your urine. So every time you go to the bathroom, just take a look, and as long as your urine is following in this like 1, 2, or 3 area on this scale, then you're probably drinking plenty of water, and that's not something you need to stress about. So really this is just a way to ease your mind on how much water you're drinking and know that you're probably getting enough as long as your urine is not turning out bright orange like some of these colors on here. So just to sum up the things that we've talked about today, we really just want to make sure that you're getting enough calories for all of the crazy physical activity that you do. And so just giving you the idea of how many that should be. We also want to make sure that you are getting those calories that you need from really good sources so that you are putting those calories to work in a way that's going to make you the best athlete possible. And lastly, just make sure that you are drinking enough water, but don't stress about it. Just listen to your body, and that's really a good rule of thumb for a lot of things with nutrition. So again, thank you so much for watching this video, and I know it's probably not what you wanted to do on your Christmas break, but I really appreciate it. It's going to help me out a lot, and please take the post quiz after you finish this, and go Shaps!